Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. It's 50 degrees outside today in January, Michigan. I don't know how that happened. You can see there's no snow on the ground, but we'll take any chance we can get to shoot. If you can guess, I've got a 5.7x28mm shirt on here from Russian Roulette Clothing. Put his link in the description below. We're gonna test some 5.7 ammunition. Let's see what we got to test. This is Elite Ammunition's DevastaTOR 2.0. This is a solid copper machined projectile. It's 34, 35, or 36 grains. Jay at Elite constantly tweaks these, so sometimes he may tell me a grain number and they may be slightly different. I'll annotate if it's something outside of that range. I know a lot of you have been wanting to see this in gel. I have samples here to test. We have a 6x6x16 clear ballistics gel block, 3.47 inches penetration for calibration. We have another block behind it. We have the chronograph, it is working. We'll take a shot from the 5.7 with the 5.3 inch barrel and the FN PS90 SBR with the 10.3 inch barrel. Maybe try some sheet metal, and we'll try some soft Kevlar. 10 to 12 feet as always for our testing distance. The Pro Chrono Digital as always. Let's get into testing. As always, I like to start with the short barrel lengths. This is the EFK 5.3 inch. I'm actually going to shoot down so I can actually try to capture this projectile. Velocity 1975. Ignore these two shots right here. This is a faster round and it's shooting pretty high for what I have. Maybe I need to check the sight on my gun. So let's look at this third wound track right here. It has a fairly long neck before it starts any disruption, but look at that disruption right there. That is pretty big. Settles down, starts curving down, exits the block back here, and as always, I can't find the projectile. We'll take a shot with the SBR, see if we can find it. Now we'll take a shot from our FN PS90 SBR. This has the 10.3 inch barrel, 1 in 9 twist. It was a factory 16 inch that I cut down. For any of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, this is the K&N Arms folding charging handle. It's pretty neat. Bolt back, let it go, and the inertia locks it back in place. So far, testing's pretty good on it. Hasn't fallen off yet. We're gonna keep messing with it. Velocity on that was 2203. Okay, this bottom track right here is our PS90 SPR. Like I said, 5.7 always has interesting bullet paths. They don't typically go in a straight line. So we start here, a long neck again, we have disruption. We ran into this. I'm assuming that the larger area now is because both bullets did some impact there. And then we start traveling up right here. This is the full 16 inches of the block. We exit the block and I'm like, oh great, I can't find this again. So another 8 inches or so, you can see it right there. There's our bullet, base first, so I mean it's tumbling. That is interesting. Give me a second and I'll grab that out of the block. There's our recovered round right there. No machining cuts like on the T6B. Now I asked Elite Ammunition why they offered this to the public, and pretty much their statement was that the performance gap between the DevastaTOR, which was a law enforcement only round, and the T6B has gotten close enough over time in iterations that there's no point in restricting the sale of it. The final penetration on that to here was 24 inches. So I mean, that's some good penetration from a little 5.7. These probably could be a little faster. It seems like they're a little slow, but like I said, I don't know if they're a 34 grain or a 35 grain. The factory SS190, when we check, is always right around 2,000 feet per second. So a little faster for a heavier bullet. Let's try some soft armor. All right, now I have an Armorware level 3A 6x8 panel. I think this is a good run-of-the-mill soft armor for testing. We've used in the past and we'll keep using them because they're pretty affordable to buy these little 6x8s for our gel block. We'll place in front of the gel block. I have no doubts that this should go through, and we'll just see what the wound check looks like after passing through Kevlar. We'll take the shot with a 5.7. I don't feel adding extra layers of Kevlar will be beneficial to us because we know that from most of our testing, the 5.7 hard copper rounds like the T6B and the Devastator and the SS190 will go through pretty much a lot of soft Kevlar. When you get into the polyethylene plates, you can stop some of these rounds with a thicker, level 3 stuff. Some of the 3A things can penetrate it. So we'll just see what this is going to do, and then we'll go to sheet metal. Velocity was 1872. Probably kind of hard to see with the block being all creased like that. I'll have to make sure next time I buy a new block that I take it out and heat it up and get the sides all nice and clear. You can still see that we have a good 3-inch neck. There's some disruption, more disruption. The bullet starts diving down. We clear the first 16 inches of the block here, and I did recover the round right here. So, maybe 17 inches of penetration there. Get it out. And just the tip is barely, you can see it's barely bent over there. Held its shape pretty well. Alright, this always takes a miracle to pull off. I have 2 pieces of 22 gauge sheet metal, 3 inches apart. Then 18 inches behind the last panel is the gel blocks. When I did the T6B, somehow I was able to hit those. So we'll try the same with the Dev. And if we get one, then we'll check the results. And then the last test we'll do is the sheet metal with the soft body armor. $18.96 was our velocity. Today, this right here is our entrance. Chugga 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 chugga. And there is our bullet backwards. Looks like we're kind of missing the tip there. When we tested the T6B, it actually kind of like took the sheet metal with it and kind of folded the tip down and crunched it a little bit. That one looks like it kind of either pushed the copper in or broke the tip off. We'll get it out of there and see what it looks like. So basically the same thing T6B. Looks like the copper's all there. There's like a little ball of sheet metal on the end of it and just kind of like press the round down. I wonder, based on the initial neck, if this will penetrate soft armor after penetrating the sheet metal. Let's get set up for that test. Okay, we have the Armorware panel in front of the gel blocks, and then we still have the sheet metal here. Let's see if we can get this. Velocity was 1915. I was a little close to that other piece of sheet metal though. I'm not going to call that a fair hit because we're like right on the edge of the panel, and it looks like it kind of went through. The bullet is like basically an inch in there, so we're going to try another shot and see if we can get closer to the center there. Sorry about that. Alright, we'll try that again. Every time I don't want to shoot something next to the last round, I always do. Velocity 1857. Looks like we're an inch lower. Hopefully that gives us what we need. As you can see right there, there's our second shot. We're far enough away from that one that I'll call that a fair hit. And there is no penetration. The round is in there. I'll have to dig it out. So now, will the increased velocity of the PS90 SBR aid in our penetration? Let's see if we can put a hit on here. Okay, we'll see if we can make a hit. Velocity 2178. Like I said, every time that round is right on top of that one, and it did penetrate. It only went about 6 inches into the block down there. Not sure if that's the first round that didn't make it through or not. Let's try to set up one more round. We'll take this one last shot, and if I can't hit a spot I haven't already hit on the body armor, then we'll just end the test there. $21.60. Again, I just keep hitting the same spot over and over again. Even I moved this panel and I still hit it. There's only about 4 inches of penetration there. I would say the PS90 SBR has the extra velocity needed to penetrate a level 3A vest after penetrating the sheet metal, but it's hard to say. With the limited amount of soft body armor and funds I have to do this, it's really hard to make that determination right now. The DevastaTOR 2.0 certainly doesn't fail to impress. We had good penetration out of both the PS90 SBR and the 5.7. We had soft armor penetration. We had good penetration with sheet metal as well. Hard to say on the PS90 SBR with the sheet metal and the soft armor. I think it has the velocity and the shape maintaining to get through without more funds and more body armor. It's hard to say. As always, in closing, I'd like to thank any of the manufacturers or retailers who provide us with products for us to test. Elite Ammunition, definitely for the DevastaTOR 2.0 and all of the other high-end 5.7 ammunition that they've been producing for years. Russian Roulette for coming out with this cool 5.7x28mm shirt. I posted it on Instagram and Facebook when I got it. There's a link in the description below with a discount code K&M Arms for the folding charging handle that we're trying on the SBR. And you all for watching. Until next time, catch you at the range.